Welcome back. Let's start with a problem statement. Java code often gets lengthy when we use anonymous classes just to define small functionality. For example, implementing a simpler interface method may take 6 to 7 lines. This makes the code verbose and harder to read. Now, question for you all is, can we write the same logic in fewer cleaner lines? Yes. That's where lambda expression come in. Now, what is a lambda expression? A lambda expression is basically an anonymous function, a method without a name. It was introduced in Java 8 and it works with functional interface. Now, what is functional interface? Interfaces that have only one abstract method. Examples are Runnable, Comparator and Callable. We will see all these in detail in further lesson. For now, we are just focusing on lambda expression, and the benefit are it helps us write cleaner, shorter and more readable code. Now, let's look at the syntax of a lambda expression in Java. The general form is parameters and then the body. The first part, parameter, that represent the input values of the function. If your method takes no input, you simply write empty parenthesis. And then if we take one input, you can write just variable name like x. Then if it takes multiple input, you can enclose them in parentheses like a comma b. Next we have the arrow. The arrow operator is called the lambda operator, this one. You can read it as goes to. It separates the input parameter from the body of the function. Then finally we have the body. Now this contains the logic or the actual code you want to execute. If the body has just one line, you can skip the curly braces. If it has multiple lines, you must enclose them with curly braces. Now let's see one example for it. Now here I have taken few examples. Now the first one is parenthesis goes to system.out.println hello. Now here there are no parameters. The lambda just prints the hello. Then we have x goes to x asterisk x. Now here we have only one parameter, that is x. The body returns the square of the x. Then the third example we have in parenthesis a comma b goes to a plus b. Now here there are two parameters a and b. The body simply returns their sum. So basically lambda expression allow us to define small concise function without writing full method definition or anonymous classes. Now let's see the code for it. Now here I am directly pasting the code to avoid extra time. Now first we will see what happens without lambda expression use in the code. So for that let's write. Now you can see in line number 2 I have written interface my interface and then void say hello. What does this mean? Here we are defining an interface called my interface. It has single method, that is say hello. Now with no parameters. Can anyone tell me why this is called a functional interface? Now let's go to our main method. Let's write in the main method. Now you can see my interface obj is equal to new my interface. Now what we are doing here, we are creating an object obj of my interface. But since interface cannot be instantiated directly, we use an anonymous inner class. Inside it, we implemented the method say hello. Here you can see say hello. And when say hello is called, it prints the hello from anonymous class. Now, do you see how many lines we had to write just to print a single message? Isn't it too lengthy? Then finally we have obj.sayHello method using object obj, and this will print our hello from anonymous class. Now let's save our file and run this code. And you can see hello from anonymous class got printed. Now imagine if I had 10 such interfaces, wouldn't it this approach make the code long and messy? So using anonymous class works but makes the code unnecessarily longer. That's exactly why Java introduced Lambda expression in Java 8 to make this code shorter and cleaner. Now let's see the code with Lambda expression and let's clearly understand what changes it makes. Now in this code itself I will make few changes. So let's remove from here and then let's write. Now you can see my interface obj, then empty parenthesis, then goes to that is lambda expression with the print statement and then obj.sayHello. Now what does this mean? Here we are creating an object obj of type myInterface. Now notice instead of writing a whole anonymous class, we are directly assigning the lambda expression, this one, this arrow type. Then we have the empty parenthesis that is representing the parameters of the method sayHello. Since sayHello takes no arguments, we keep it empty. Then we have this arrow symbol. This is the goes to is the lambda operator. It separates the parameters from the body. Then we have our print statement. This is the body of the method that will execute when we call it. Now notice how the interface had only one method. That's why lambda works here. Can anyone tell me what such interfaces are called? Comment below. Then we have object.sayHello. Now we simply call the method sayHello using object obj and it will print hello from the lambda. Now let's save our file and run our code to see the output. And you can see hello from lambda got printed. Now did you notice earlier we wrote 6 to 7 lines of code with anonymous class. With lambda we achieved the same in just one line. Isn't it much cleaner? Now the key takeaway is lambdas make Java code shorter, cleaner and easier to read. Best used with functional interfaces. They are extremely useful in places like collection, stream and multi-threading. Now let's move with the functional interface.